Welcome to Marriage Without Tears channel. My name is Felix Okeke. I'm your marriage counselor and coach. On this edition, we are going to be looking at how a woman or how a wife can respect her husband. I have come to understand over a period of marital counseling that most men are very, very eager to have a woman really respect them. A woman that will treasure their presence, that will reverence them, that will highly regard them, that will make a difference in their lives. A woman who will motivate them and encourage them to become the best they can be. And when they don't find such a woman, there's a tendency for them to become aggressive, physically and emotionally. Today, we are going to be looking at how a woman can actually respect her husband. I've also counseled a lot of women, and they tell me, sir, I cook his meals, I wash his clothes, I do all manner of things. How else do I respect him? How else do I respect him? And he is still saying that I don't respect him. How else do I respect him? And I discover, of course, that these women don't actually know what it means to respect their husband between just cooking meals and washing their clothes. No, there is a lot you need to do. And that's what we want to talk about today. If you're a woman out there in marriage, I want you to listen attentively to what we're about to discuss. And for a man out there, please, if you find anything that I have not said in this very edition, please find the courage to give me a comment at the end of this very particular edition. And I appreciate you. Number one, how do you respect your husband? By paying him ultimate attention anytime he's speaking with you. Anytime he's speaking with you, pay him rapt attention, not divided attention. You don't back at your children or continue doing what you are doing while your husband is talking with you. I mean, that is a simple sign of disrespect. Because even as human beings, if God is speaking to us and we are busy in other chores, in other activities, and we don't pay him attention, he will get angry and walk away and feel very disappointed. It is the same thing with the human folk. The reality is that anytime your husband is speaking with you, it is your leader, your appointed leader upon the face of the earth that is speaking with you. He wants to pass an information to you. So there is a need for you to stop whatever you are doing and listen to him with rapt attention. Don't continue watching the TV. Don't continue watching a telenovela. Don't continue watching Nollywood while your husband is communicating something very, very important to you. Drop whatever you are doing. Pay him attention. That is a sign of reverence. Because respect is about reverencing the individual. Respect is about highly regarding an individual, making him a very important factor in your life. That is what it means to respect your man. The second thing you must also do, if you are someone that wants to actually show that you respect your husband, is by being willing to obey every instruction that he passes over onto you. Obedience is better than sacrifice, the Bible says. And of course, as a woman, if you actually want to treasure a husband, you want to have a husband that actually adores you, then you must be willing to obey his instructions. Obedience is synonymous with respect, because you cannot respect somebody that you can't obey. And certainly you cannot obey somebody that you can't respect. So you must respect your man to the level whereby you open up everything about you to him. Your visions, your activities, your dreams, everything about you. The man should not be taken unawares because you are under his authority. Because every decision you make, as long as you are his wife, has a direct impact on his leadership as a husband and as a father. So you must let him know. You must carry him along. Don't be like the woman who was busy packing up her things very late at night, and the husband came home. The husband said to her, darling, what is happening? Why don't you leave all these things in the morning? You can continue. And the woman said to him, oh, darling, I'm sorry, but I must leave for New York tonight. I have a 12 midnight, flight to catch to New York, and I have a meeting first thing in the morning. The husband said to her, you are leaving for New York? You have made all these arrangements and you didn't tell me? And the wife said to him, well, I'm just telling you now. Please, let's discuss it when I come back. And the man said to her, you are leaving nowhere. You are going nowhere. As long as you are my wife, you stay put under this roof and you are not leaving this house tonight. And before you know it, the man ordered his gate man to lock up the entire premises. So the woman tried all she could to get out, and she could not go to anywhere. At the end of the day, she took her nap. She went to bed and was woken in the morning by a call. When she picked that call, she discovered that she had about 25 other missed calls during the night. And when she responded, oh, the person on the other side was ecstatic. He said, madam, thank God you are not in that flight. Thank God that I'm able to reach you. The woman said, what? He said, didn't you know what is happening? Open up, the whole thing is in the news. And the woman called her husband, and then they opened the television, and lo and behold, in CNN, the flight she was supposed to catch by 12th night has plunged into the Mediterranean. Let me tell you, woman out there, the voice of your husband is the voice of prophecy. It's the voice ordained of God for your lifting, for your edification, for your for everything around you. It is the voice that you are meant to hear and listen to. And if you are a woman out there and you are not respecting that voice, you are not obedient to that voice, then something is wrong with you as a woman. His instructions, even when he is wrong, if you discover that he is wrong in the instruction he's given unto you, you must in all humility and kindness and in love pass on a way of correction. Pass on a word of correction. You don't correct him in anger. You don't correct him in a cynical way. You don't correct him by violently criticizing him. You don't correct him that. No, it is something that you do with grace, with honor, with humility, with joy in your heart. It is very, very important indeed. The third thing you must also do if you want to show maximum respect to your husband is don't ever nag him. Never nag him. Don't interrupt your discussions with him. Don't break his flow of communication. If he's speaking with you and he's very clear what he said, don't interject. Don't interrupt him. Interrupting him is a sign of total disrespect, total dishonor. You have not shown reverence unto him by not allowing him to make his point. Allow him to make his point. As a woman, ask God for the grace to first of all to understand him before seeking to be understood. That is what a graceful woman does. But him that is not graceful will always like to interrupt. She will always like to chip in. She will always want to. It does not make good for a communicator, and is not good for you as a woman. If you are respectable, you must allow your man to make his point even before you say whatever you have to say. Very, very important at this point in time. The fourth thing actually is this. Don't ever, engage in the act of running to your family anytime there is a dispute, anytime there is a sign of conflict between you and your husband, and then you start running to your parents, you start running to your siblings, and you begin to look at their counsel as the only parameter to adopt in your own home. It does not show respect at all. It does not show respect at all. I have seen so many women who do that. I want you to know, for instance, that your mother is married to your father, is not married to your husband. So no matter the kind of advice she may give to you, even in her best intentions, it may not actually work in your own relationship. And the same thing with your subjective siblings. They will never be objective. So as a woman in marriage, always know that the sign, any sign of conflict does not mean that your husband is in error. It does not also mean that you are in error. It may be a sign that you misunderstand one another in certain areas, which if you sit back as a couple to actually discuss it and look at it critically, look at the challenges or situations critically, you will come out with better results. But when you run to your siblings and to your parents, you are simply showing him, you are only saying to your husband, you are not good enough. You can't manage this home. You can't manage this family. And that is a total sign of disrespect. Total sign of disrespect. And of course, the fifth sign of disrespect unto your husband, which as a woman you must guard against jealously. Please, never you under any circumstance pick quarrels with people outside of your marriage. Don't pick quarrels. Don't pick fights outside of your marriage. Don't go outside there and make trouble without seeking the counsel of your husband. Even when somebody out there is messing around with you, even when somebody out there is antagonistic towards you, whether in the office or at home, a responsible woman will always seek the counsel of the husband before taking the next step. Just like a responsible man will always seek the counsel of God before knowing the next option, before knowing which way to go. Is in the same way, you as the woman should recognize that your man is the symbol of God unto your life, is the authority figure in your home. So you must seek his face, you must seek his counsel, before picking a fight outside. I know of so many women who will go outside there, cause quarrels, cause havoc, cause some manner of confusions, and when it becomes too big, and then they start running to your family, they start running back to their husband for cover. It does not follow. That's not the right way. First of all, seek the counsel of your husband before engaging in a quarrel. If you are a woman or man, if you are actually a woman that that regards or reveres the husband, you must seek his counsel. Something happened many years ago. I was dating a woman, and somehow she had a problem with somebody. She never discussed it with me, and then they went out on a fight, and before you know it, she was beaten to the pulp. And then she came back to the house in total rags and was expecting me to go outside there and fight for her. I said, no, it doesn't follow. You should have told me. I should have been aware of what is going on before ever you go to engage in a fight. So it is the same thing. You don't go out there and engage in a fight without seeking the counsel of your husband. Please, as a woman that want to actually honor the husband, seek his face, seek his counsel first before engaging in an outside battle. It's very important. And the sixth one I will also say here, you want to be a woman that actually respects her husband. If you are involved in any relationship, you have a friend, possibly you have developed intimate friendship with your hairdresser or with somebody out there or your workmate, somebody out there that you love so much, be a man or a woman, and somehow your husband does not consent to such a relationship. And he tells you, darling, please, I don't want you hobnobbing with so and so person. I don't want you to work with this person. Please disengage from that relationship. I don't like her, and I don't like how she behaves. I don't want you to be smeared by her. Please, as long as you are my wife, I don't want you to be with this person. If that is his position, please, as a responsible woman that treasures the love of her husband, please disengage from such a relationship immediately. Very, very important. Very, very important. Because at the end of it all, your husband is the most important person in your life after God. Therefore, you must not choose that relationship outside to the detriment of the feelings of your husband. If you are one that actually desires to treasure her husband, please disengage immediately. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately by clicking the red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed as we go to number 8. I think number 8, yes. The number 8 I want to say, if you are actually a woman that loves her husband, that treasures him and wants to show maximum respect unto the husband, please don't get involved in extramarital affairs. Never get involved in extramarital affairs. When you get involved in extramarital affairs, no matter how minute, no matter how short the period may be, it simply says that you have conferred the authority over you onto another man and no longer unto your husband. You have decided to expose your body. You have decided to expose yourself in the arms of another instead of your husband. And I tell you, it is a terrible error. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, it can damage the best of husbands. It can damage the best of relationships. And no woman that is worth her salt is required or is expected to engage in any amorous affair when you are in marriage. Please don't do so, because when you do that, it is a sign of total dishonor unto your husband. As we go to the number 9, because I actually want to give you about 10 of them. Number nine, actually, if you love your husband and you respect your husband, please also respect his parents. What do I say? You must also learn how to respect his parents. I'm not saying that you're going to go and get married to the parents. No, respect the parents. I have seen a lot of married women treat the parents of their spouses like old almanacs. You know what they do with old almanacs? Immediately the year is over, then the almanac is no longer useful. That is not how it should be. So many people out there, so many women out there, when they get married to their husband, they want to keep him alone. They don't want the visitation of their mother-in-law or their father-in-law, forgetting the fact that it is this man and this woman, your parents-in-law, that raised through their sweat, through their resources, that raised, that gave birth and nurtured and nourished and brought forward that man that you found wonderful as a husband. That wonderful man that you treasure so much, somebody gave birth to him. Somebody loved him. Somebody sent him to school. Somebody took care of him. Somebody watered him until he became the epitome of your desire. Now that you've been allowed to marry him, why are you cutting the parents off? Please, as a woman in marriage, I want you to take this very seriously. Learn how to love and respect the parents of your husband. Very, very important. And it will do well for your marriage. It will do well even for your own relationship. It will do well for even your future, because one of these days, you will also become a parent and you will like your children to also treasure you. Very, very important, because what goes round comes round. And before we go to the final point, I want you to look at that red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed. The third point I want to give really is, don't usurp his position or his role as a husband under any circumstance. Don't usurp his role or his position as a husband. Even when he is sick and tired, please wisely and in humility play that role, but don't usurp it entirely. What do I mean by that? I have seen a whole lot of women, because their husbands experience business failure because they lost their jobs and their source of income. Instead of encouraging that man or motivating that man to come out of that depression and become better, what these women do is they run him down by tongue, by all manner of things. They run him down, and at the end of the day, they take over his responsibility. They begin to pay the children's school fees by themselves. They begin to cater to the home by themselves. They begin to, even offset bills in the community by themselves. They go to the church, and when they say, "Oh, your husband is owing so and so," they put their hand in their purse and they pay it up, and they think they are doing a whole world of good. No. You are actually demeaning the man. You are actually making the man look ridiculously empty. You are making him to become, a caricature of himself. As a woman, you are called into that union as a helpmate. Help him by encouraging him to come out of his state. Help him in any way you can. You can pass on money onto him in a way that other people do not know, that even his children does not know, that mommy is the one paying the school fees. No. As a woman, you can pass the money over to him, and then he calls his children and offsets their school fees, offsets their bills. You can pass the money back to, and cover him in a way that the world does not know his nakedness. That is what we have been called to do. But a whole lot of people, a lot of wives out there, they see that as an opportunity to assert their dominance. And when you do that, you take away his self-respect. So I am pleading with our women out there, please show maximum respect and honor to your husband. Because when you honor him, he becomes an honorable husband. When you honor him, he becomes a loving husband. When you honor him, he becomes a faithful husband. When you honor him, he becomes the best that he can ever be. The reason why there are so many cases of domestic violence is women out there that no longer honor their husbands. They talk down on him, they nag him, they chastise him in the public, they take his case to the in-laws, they diminish him in value. And at the end of the day, the man becomes just a beast in the making. I pray that this very particular session will minister to you. And please, before you check out, look at this red button by my side. Click on it, get subscribed, and be part of this community. I love you so much. Have a wonderful time.